Brothers and sisters, shock and horror this week as two old white male councillors at the Whangamatā Community Board had to flee their meeting because a Karakia was spoken at the opening. The ears of white older men are so brittle and fragile that they must rush from any room where a Karakia is spoken just in case the mere mention of one word in Māori will be so damaging to their brain that it could trigger strokes, brain cancer, or testicular swelling. The translation of the Karakia that forced these two councillors to run from their meetings is, come forth from above, come forth from below, come forth from within, come forth from the environment, vitality and well-being for all, strengthened in unity. Clearly horrific, terrifying words for any older white male to be forced to endure. Now, some cruel people want to viciously mock these easily triggered snowflakes who had to leave the room in case their poor precious souls are forced to hear one single word of te reo. But Honky Ear is a serious medical condition, and we should all feel sympathy for old white men being forced to hear the Indigenous mother tongue of the land they live in. Thoughts and prayers for the Whangamatā Community Board in their fight against Honky Ear. Talking of crazy honkies, this is a real headline from this week. This is a real headline. I did not make this up. Jeffrey Epstein's brother says Bubba isn't Bill Clinton after Epstein email about Trump blowing Bubba goes viral. Comrades, of all the headlines I thought I'd be reading out this year, one from Jeffrey Epstein's brother clarifying that Putin doesn't have incriminating intimate photos of Donald Trump and Bill Clinton being sexual together wasn't one of them. How far from the norms have we gotten with Donald Trump that this is an actual headline? The funniest bit about what has been released in the Epstein files is not Epstein bitching about Trump. It is how much it seems to point directly to Epstein being an intelligence asset for Mossad and the CIA. Here are the headlines you're not hearing. Jeffrey Epstein helped broker Israeli security agreement with Mongolia. Jeffrey Epstein and Mossad, how the sex trafficker helped Israel build a back channel to Russia amid Syrian civil war. And the most recent report entitled, Israeli spies stayed for weeks at a time with Jeffrey Epstein in Manhattan. Look, I have no idea how Jeffrey died or how deep his weird ties were with Donald Trump, but could I suggest that his penchant for filming powerful men in compromising positions with underage women wasn't recreational and may have in fact been professional? Now, if I suddenly die after saying that, don't trust the autopsy report. And finally, in this week's War on News, Iceland last week declared a state of emergency as latest research warns of a shutting down of the Atlantic meridional overturning circulation, an ocean current that is crucial to the climate stability impacting billions of people. To date, the idea that the AMOC could shut down has been a thing of fiction. However, as more fresh water from glaciers flood the sea in crucial oceanic pump points, the desalination weakens the heat transfer, meaning most of Western Europe will be plunged into freezing weather that could trigger a new ice age. Turns out bringing your own bag to the supermarket wasn't enough to save us. Brothers and sisters, we're all going to die on a burning planet thanks to the lies of the petro-industrial complex and their polluter mates. To quote the great warrior poet oracle Mike Hosking, happy days.